So, assalamu alaikum. We are going to revise for training. So today we are going to review for test 1, CLO2 and CLO3. You have to get a calculator, a scratch paper, and pencil or pen. And if you are at home, you can make a coffee and start this one. This is CLO3, simple linear regression equation, and the correlation coefficient and the scatter plot. Make sure you understand when R is positive, the slope should be positive, and the scattered plot from the left to the right is going up. Okay. Also, if R is negative, also the slope should be negative, and the scattered plot from the left to the right is going down or downward, right? Give you the same explanation. If the correlation coefficient R is negative, or the slope is negative, or the scattered plot from left to right is down, it means the relation, a linear relation, is negative, right? We know the value of correlation coefficient between -1 and +1. And we understand from 0 to 0.5, we call it weak. Okay. If it is 0 to 0.5, it will be positive weak. If it is 0 to 0.5 minus, it will be negative weak. Okay. If it is 0.5 to 0.7, we call it moderate. If it is in the positive side, it will be positive. From 0.5 to minus 0.7, we say moderate negative. From 0.7 to 0.99 or close to 1, positive 1, we say strong positive. If it is close to -1, 0.999, we say negative strong. Okay. If it is exactly +1, we say positive perfect. If it is exactly -1, we say negative perfect. Now we understand the values of the correlation coefficient. Okay. Now, please mute your sound, please.
Those with a tablet and who can do the.
Now, we are going to R equal to 0, the correlation coefficient, when you have R is 0, there is no linear relation. Also, the slope will be 0. The scattered plot here is a big mess. You cannot see a line, you cannot see a curve. So here, R is 0 and B is also 0. But if the scattered plot going to be a shape different from the line, we said it is nonlinear, right? This is the link between the scattered plot and the correlation coefficient and the slope of the linear regression equation. This one, or the best line representing the points we have or the data we have, right? Now, if you square R, the correlation coefficient, if you square it, it will be decimal, right? To change it into percentage, you have to multiply by 100. This percentage, what does it mean? It means this percentage change in the dependent variable, y, explained or occurred or result by the independent variable x. Okay, there is another one, coefficient of non-determination, which is the complement of this one. What does it mean, complement? It means 1 minus the coefficient of determination. 1 minus the determination coefficient R squared. If you would like to change it into percentage, you multiply it by 100. But be careful, you should put the bracket in your calculator, right? This percentage, exactly the same sentence as here, but you have to add not explained or not result or not occurred by the independent variable x. Okay. Now, we finish the correlation coefficient, and we understand the values and can explain it. And we know the coefficient of determination, and we can explain it. The coefficient of non-determination, and we can explain it. Any scattered plot, I can explain. It depends from the left to right. Now, what is the point of having this linear regression equation? The point is, if x given, I can find y. If y is given, I can find x, right? You can find this one using your calculator, right? Say your linear regression equation was y equal to 3x minus 50. You can write this down using your calculator, but here, don't use the black equal. You use a red equal. How to write the red equal? Alpha t plus calc. After you type this equation, you just click what? Shift and calc, right? Shift and calc, or alpha and calc. Can you try? I'm sure it is, I think shift and calc, as far as I remember. Okay. How to write x? I forget how to write x. You write x by alpha and this parenthesis, right? After you finish writing the equation, you press shift and calc. He asks you, and you see here, solve for x, and he give you the value of x, right? This is how to solve the linear regression equation if you are given y and you ask it to find x. But if you are given x, it is easy. You substitute by the value of x, you will get y. Now we finish CLO2 completely. Do you have any question before we move to CLO3? Okay. For sure, if I'm asking about this one are never be 1. Why never be 1? Because if it is 1, it is perfect. Perfect means all your points lying on the line, right? But once you have a little points out of the linear regression line, so are less than 1. Could be 0.9 if it is little number of points. If you have more points, you will have less R. Okay, this is how to catch the right scattered plot fit for the value of the correlation coefficient. Now we finish CLO2. CLO3 mostly depend on the section of the formula sheet. So if you have the formula sheet, or take a screenshot from this one, please. If you hear me, take the screenshot from this one. If you don't have the formula sheet already. Okay, you take this formula screenshot from this one. Be careful. This first 4 of this formula sheet from 1 to 4, it is belong to single discount. What does it mean, single discount? It means you have discount once, so you have 1% you are going to use, right? This is the easy way to catch this one. You have in each formula 1, 2, 3 part, right? In each formula of this one, we have 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you will be given 2 undetermined, or 2 term, or 2 variable, and ask you to find the third one. The third items. So go for your formula sheet and check which formula of this one having the given two values and the one asking for you. It's better to go as the shortcut to the right formula, right? But sometimes he give you what? He give you the discount rate, but he doesn't give you the complement, right? So it is fair enough. What does it mean complement? If the discount rate is 5%, the complement will be 95%. Okay? So if you are given the net price, say, and the discount rate, and he's asking you for the list price, you can go for this one, right? If you are given the net price and the list price and ask you to find the discount amount, no, it is better to go for this one, right? Which is the same thing. Easy? So make sure you choose the correct formula to find any result for the single discount questions. Okay. Now, the net price and the trade discount amount for the other four, one, this is for the chain discount. Chain discount. Okay. No, here in the chain discount, you cannot use one formula to find what you are looking for. In general, this NPE or net price equivalent trade should be calculated even if he's not asking you to calculate it, right? Why is that? Because formula number 5 for the chain discount is included everywhere. Look at this one, NPE, NPE. What is SED? SED is exactly the complement of NPE. So in the chain discount, you have to get the net price equivalent rate, even if he's not asking you. You cannot find the net price without NPE. You cannot find the single equivalent discount, SED, without NPE. You cannot find the net price without the NPE. You cannot find the trade discount amount without SED, which is calculated by the complement of NPE. So in such a question, CLO3, you have to distinguish between single discount and chain discount question, right? Here, you have something called invoice, where you are going to use the Julian calendar. The Julian calendar in your formula sheet as well. The main issue in the invoice question, you have to know the issue date, and you have to know the payment date. Why is that? Because in the invoice, he's telling you such notation. You will get, say, 5% if you pay within 10 days, right? This is what does it mean? 5% if you pay within 10 days. Okay. Okay, if you don't pay within 10 days, you pay after 10 days, he's writing for you, you will get less discount for sure if you pay after 10 days up to 15 days. So this means 3% after 10 days and before 15 days payment. You will get 3%. The other notation is written like this one. N over 30. It means 0% discount if you pay after the last chance, which is 15 days, after 15 days, till 30 days. You have to pay before 30 days anyway, but after the last chance, 15 days, you will not get any discount. So you have to pay the whole amount, pay the whole amount. But here, if you get 5%, multiply the 5% times the amount, right? This is a discount amount. This is a discount amount. If you take it from the list price or the original amount or the original amount or the amount, you will get now the payment you should do, right? This is a single discount. Here, for the other part of this one, the chain discount, as I said many times, you have to get the net price equivalent rate, and you know what you understand what does it mean complement, right? You have here notation like this one, 3, and then 2, and then 1. What does it mean, this one? It means you will get 3% discount followed by 2%, and finally you get extra 1%. If it is written like this one, okay, 5, 3, it means 5% and another 3%, right? Be sure this one exactly like this one, but here it means 2%, this is percentage and this is percentage. But in the invoice question, this is percentage and this is days. Catch it? Ready? And you understand the complement? So here, this is 3%. The complement for this one is 97%, right? The complement of 2% is 98%. How I get this one? 100 minus the rate. 100 minus the rate percentage. So it is 99%. So the main issue here, you have to understand what does it mean complement, even in this formula or in the chain discount formula also. But here, the complement of NPE is a decimal, is not percentage, right? So the complement of this one is 1 minus NPE, right? Let's go and see. This is the part has no formula in your exam, right? So you have to understand what does it mean gross pay. Gross pay is the total amount you get at the end, right? You know, some people working with depend on the time, like it depends on the time. It means you have to work for 40 hours mandatory, but if you work more than 40 hours, right? So you work for 40 hours mandatory, you multiply it by the hour rate, how much you will get per hour, right? This part, they call it the regular pay. They call it regular pay. But if you work over 40 hours, so you know, you calculate your total hours minus, because over 40, it means you subtract 40 here, and don't forget to multiply by the hour rate as here, hour rate. But what is the difference between the regular payment and the overtime? In the overtime, the hour rate multiply by 1.5. It will be mentioned in the question as well, right? This is what I call it. I call it overtime pay. Overtime pay. If he's asking for the gross pay, so the gross pay will be the sum of these two, or the total, right? Some people know it's not working depending on the time. They have a basic salary plus, it means plus, right? Commission. So the gross pay in this case, gross pay equal to the basic salary plus the commission, plus the commission. But be careful here. If he's telling you he's draw something, right? So if he's draw, you have to subtract this draw from the amounts, right? Because he get the money in advance. So at the end, he will not take it again, right? So you have to subtract whatever he's draw before he started, okay? So be careful with the draw, okay? Now, some people is not having basic salary, they're having only commission. These two commission may be straight commission or straight piece rate. Straight, it means there is no change, right? It's fixed for everything, right? But sometimes, no, they have different commission rates for different levels. What does it mean? It means if you are making a sale, right? So if you sell 50 units, I will give you 5 dirham each, right? But if you sell the second 100, I will give you 10 dirham each, right? If you sell from 151 to 200, the second 50, so you have to count from here to here how much you have, right? In this box, how much you have in this box, okay? So here you have 100, you multiply by this one. Here you have 50, multiply by this one. If you have 50 here, you have 50, multiply. If I say I give you here 20 dirham, you multiply it by this 20 dirham. If it is over 200, so if it depends on the total. If you sell 210 units, so you reach this one. You fill this box with the 50, you fill the second box with it, because this is the size of the box, right? From here to here is 100. So from here to here, you have 50. Over 200, how many over 200 is the total minus the 200. This is what does it mean over. Over 200, it means you have to subtract the 200. Subtract it from where? From the total units. So I have only 10 over 200. Over 200, I'll give you 30 dirham each. So this is the 10 multiplied by the 30 dirham. If I add all of these one, I will catch the gross pay. Also here, be careful. If he said draw, so you have to subtract the draw value, right? Now, you have some people, yeah, this is a question here, okay. This is also commission net sale. Sometimes he will not give you the commission up to the total sale, right? Is it not straight rate? It's a changeable one. So he said over 20,000 sale, he will give you 5%, right? Okay. If you total sale you have done is 60,000. So you are not going to take the 5% for the whole 60,000. You will get over to 2,000, right? So what you have to do, your payment will be what? Will be 60,000 minus, because I said over, it means subtraction, 20,000, right? So you have what? 40,000. Yes, this is the one you multiplied by the 5%. So be careful with the word over. Over, it means above this one. So you have to subtract it from the total sale. Again and again and again, be careful with the draw. If he draws some money before he starts, you have to subtract this draw from the amount to catch the total he got. Okay? I think now you have to understand the gross pay very careful, and be careful with the two words, the draw. You should subtract the draw from the total. over, it means you have to subtract the amount over from the total amount. Okay. Now, let's practice. I will put in the team a practice test, and I will stop recording right now, right? Until you solve the question, and then we will solve it together. I'll stop recording right now.